We have our very good friend Barbara Cox from Nutrichef with us. Good evening to you.
Hey Andy, how are you?
Very good, thank you. And a couple of months ago we set you the challenge of making junk food healthy.
Yes.
And making it tasty as well.
Yeah.
We had a little sort of sit down planning meeting. I said, well, I love all the bad stuff. I like the Indian, I like the Chinese, I like the pizza, I like the kebabs and everything. And we've done Indian, we've done
Italian,
we've done
fish
kebabs,
and chips.
fish and chips. And
Yeah.
tonight it's the turn of Chinese takeaway.
Oh, and we have a feast for you tonight. Absolutely.
And you were saying to me, what kind of Chinese do I like? My absolute favourite thing in the world is crispy duck in those little pancakes.
Yep.
And you have brought in little pancakes. You brought in some crispy duck as well.
I have. I've delivered tonight. I think I'm really, really pleased. Do you know what? I surprise myself every week.
I tell you what, it's sitting next to me, and just to explain, so Barbara gets here about 10 minutes before we go on air, and I can smell the food as she's opening up and sort of warming it and preparing it. It's sitting next to me now, and I said, today, Barbara, I'm not going to taste it until we actually start the show.
Okay.
So what have you brought in? If you can just give us just a quick sort of overview of what you come up with
Well,
tonight.
the feast I brought you this evening is your lovely crispy duck. So we have the pancakes and we have some cucumber with that, as well as some spring onions. And I brought in 4 different sauces for you to try. 3 that I've made and 1 that is store-bought.
Do we know, are you going to reveal which is which until I've tasted them? Or
I was going to get you to do the blind
yeah,
taste
we'll do the
test.
blind
We'll
taste.
do the blind, okay.
Because I don't know. They're sitting all
No.
next to each other. They're all in identical pots.
Yeah.
So I don't know which ones come out of the shop. So we'll do that a little bit later.
And then I brought you a fantastic bit of salmon in an Asian broth, which hopefully you'll try as well.
Absolutely, because that's your take on the hot and sour soup.
That's right. That's right.
I tell you, I love the crab soup that they do as well.
Oh yes,
so
me too.
I'm guessing this is going to be. I'm guessing it's going to be a little bit like that, but I haven't tasted it yet. But it smells delicious. So we'll dive into that in a minute. This is Wave 105. Barbara Cox from Nutrichef with us. If you'd like to download tonight's free fact sheet, it's a PDF. You go to wave105.com/Andy. It is there for you. Just right click on it and download it. Bish bash bosh. It's the Bee Gees on Wave 105 and Too Much Heaven, and a little bit of a food theme going on until 9 o'clock tonight. We've got Barbara Cox from Nutrichef in. Also we're going to be having a chat with Michelle Bartlett, who has got a big event going on with loads to do about health eating and chemicals in foods and things like that. So we'll catch up with her in 10 minutes or so as well. But Barbara, the challenge is every week or every time she comes in is to bring me some junk food, but kind of Nutrichef it up and make it healthy.
That's right.
And I've got to say you've done very well. Just to recap, you've done a broth with salmon, great big lovely chunks of salmon floating in it. Now I had a taste of that a minute ago and I said, oh, that's done in like a sort of chicken broth, chicken flavoured broth. You said there's no chicken in there. No. So what is it that's making the broth taste to me chickeny?
Well, when you cook the broth, and you can use the juices from the salmon if you do cook it all together, and it gives it that lovely, fifth, sixth sense, which is the umami. And I think a lot of people have heard about that lovely sense that gives it that sort of special flavour, but we can't
put your finger on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because traditionally you've got sweet, sour, salty, and
bitter, isn't it?
Bitter, and there's the normal ones that if you bite into a lemon, you say, well, that's bitter. If you eat a spoonful of sugar, you say that's sweet. But umami is the thing something's delicious, but you're not quite sure why.
That's right. Now this was one big thing. Most people have heard about the Chinese restaurant syndrome, which is they use a lot of MSG, which is the monosodium glutamate, which artificially enhances the flavour of the food, which replaces a natural way that you can use this umami type of flavouring. Now for Italian food, they use Parmesan cheese, which naturally has the glutamate in it, which gives it a special flavour, so that's a good way. But with Chinese, what you can do is use some seaweeds, and mushrooms are really very good. So when you boil the mushrooms and drain or take the actual mushrooms out, but leave the broth in, gives it a beautiful flavour. So
it's all in the mushrooms.
All in the cooking.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've definitely got me confused, because I'm just triple checking now.
Yeah, triple checking
the broth there.
But it's really nice, but you have lots of nice onions and different delicate spices as well.
Still tastes chicken to me.
There we go. It's all the duck you've been eating.
Maybe it's you associate chicken soup with being nice, and your brain's kind of playing tricks on you. So that was the broth. The crispy duck. Now the duck fillets, as we call them in this country.
Yes, the fillets, as we call them in Canada. Yeah.
Now the fillets themselves aren't crispy, are they?
No, they're not. Now, a lot of the times when you do the Peking duck, obviously you can get one big chicken breast and then you have the skin on it and you crisp it all up. But as we know, a lot of that can be very fatty, and I think that's why duck has had such a bad rap recently as well. So what you want to do is maybe just get the fillets, and I coated them in a Chinese 5-spice and lightly fried them in some rapeseed oil, which is low in saturated fats as well, and then just put them in the pancakes. So the crispiness actually comes from the spring onion and the cucumber.
And it definitely was, because it had me falls, because I was expecting it to, not crunch when I bit into it, but it definitely does crunch. And with the duck, of course, you have normally traditionally hoisin sauce with
Yes,
it.
that's right. Yeah.
And just to recap the sauces, soy sauce and sesame, which I've had a little bit, which was lovely, slightly spicy.
Yeah.
The other one was black bean with garlic and ginger.
That's right.
Which goes very nicely as well.
Yeah.
Szechuan pepper and tomato.
Yes, yeah, a little salsa, yeah.
And some classic hoisin sauce.
That's right. Now, 3 of them I've made, and 1 is store-bought. You've done a taste test. Can you guess?
I'm guessing that the one that you haven't made is the hoisin sauce.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Why? Why did you think that?
Was it a particularly healthy variety, or was it just an off-the-shelf normal one?
It was an off-the-shelf normal one.
Because it tastes very salty compared to the others.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they load it up with just having another little
Yeah, I think sugar and salt and everything.
Sugar and salt.
And do you know what? It's so easy to make these sauces. So when people are, strapped for time and coming home from work and want to do this sort of fast food, you really, do you know what? Read the labels, what's in these sauces, because I just did grab one off the shelf, but yeah, there were a few nasties in there. But it's interesting that you can taste the difference, because they all look the same. They're not in the jars, just so everyone knows.
Absolutely, yeah, it's completely blind.
Yeah, exactly. They are in individual containers, and all are labelled the same. And
it tastes kind of, the other ones you've made, you can taste the individual ingredients. With that one, it tastes almost sort of processed. So yeah. I don't know how they make it. I don't know what the ingredients are. But it tastes like it is. I mean, it's not. I'm not going to say it's not nice, because I do like it, but it does. You can tell it's. You can. Well, I could tell it was shop bought.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. But people can really easily make. I mean, the sesame and the ginger is just fantastic. And of course, sesame seeds are incredibly good for you as well. So try to throw them in all your Chinese cooking.
Absolutely. And then some little chunks of tofu on side, which you introduced us to last time around.
Yeah, that's right. So if people don't like duck, then they can have a vegetarian alternative, which this is marinated tofu. Again, I rolled it in the 5-spice and just you warmed it up. That's all I did. Really, really easy. And again, you can wrap it in the pancakes, or if you wanted to use tortillas, you could do that as well, or even just with some plain boiled rice.
And with the pancakes themselves as well, because that was the I was going to think, how are you going to do pancakes? So the pancakes, they're okay, are they? The pancakes.
They are. Most Chinese pancakes are made of rice flour anyway, so they're stay within the Nutrichef principle. But yeah, I think they're a really healthy alternative. You can even make little spring rolls out of them as well. They're great.
So rice flour good, wheat flour bad.
Yeah, wheat can tend to give a lot of the women the bloating that we don't like, but the rice flour is better.
I must admit, I did do some experimenting. I baked my first spelt loaf, which I don't know you were talking to Rick about, was using spelt instead of wheat. It came out really nicely as well.
Fantastic.
It's slightly sort of a different taste, but still recognisably bread and still with the right texture. But just a slight difference to it, but not bad at all,
Excellent.
So there we go, this is Barbara Cox from Nutrichef. If you'd like to download today's information sheet and how you can make food as lovely as this, as healthy as this as well, just go to the website wave105.com/.